What is going on, guys? It's another beautiful day today. And of course, last night, my battery died on the camera. Oh, man. Maybe this week continues, but this time, I got it. You're able to charge this thing while it's recording, which is nice. And I have 512 gig SD card, so that shouldn't fill up. Hopefully everything goes well. There's no reason this camera should stop recording. Another reason, though, I should get a separate audio recorder. So if the camera dies, I still have audio, and really you guys are probably mostly here for, if you're here, for the, just the audio, really. Oh yeah, it's a good day. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about today. Today might be one of those days where I'm just riding. Ooh, it's kind of chilly. And now we're stuck behind a slow Jeep. Yeah, so yesterday I was talking about the FJ Cruiser that I really would like to get. There's this one, I think I mentioned it yesterday, but there's one that I found listed for a pretty good price, and there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with it from the listing, and they even listed the Carfax, and there's like 50 or so reviews on this dealer on Google Maps, and they all are pretty much all 5 stars. There was like one star because of some guy that didn't think he said the AC compressor didn't work or something, or wasn't working in a Subaru WRX or something, I don't know. So it looks like it's a legit thing, and there's like photos with some of these reviews, so I'm pretty sure it's not just some fake reviews. Like there is one 4-star review, a bunch of 5 stars, and everyone says, yeah, the guy Andrew is really nice to work with. He's super, straightforward and upfront about everything. And so on the dealer website they have Carfax listed, and Carfax says everything's good, except the only thing I noticed was the last 2, and the wave, thanks, the last 2 logged like service type things was a failed emissions test in Oregon, both of them, and they're both like 10 days apart or something. So I'm wondering if for some reason it's just a good deal, because for some reason maybe the catalytic converters have gone bad, or maybe something else is wrong with the engine. I'm not entirely sure. But on Saturday, I'm gonna go test drive it. I'm not gonna buy it yet. For one, I need to sell my Subaru before I have quite enough funds to buy it. I'm always someone that likes to pay up front everything. Like, I don't want to be in a payment. Through the dealer you can do, monthly payments if you do a certain down payment up front or whatever, but I'd rather just pay it all up front because I don't want to be stuck in any payments anymore. Plus they just you just collect interest, or they collect interest on you. when you're doing those payments, so it's not, you're losing money in the long run. So I'm gonna have to figure out, I think I might sell my Subaru whether I buy this FJ or not, because I do have another option sort of to drive. My grandfather has this old 2004 Toyota Tacoma. It's like a really small, before they like sized up the Tacoma, it's like the really small Tacoma. And it's pretty good shape. I think it's only 2-wheel drive, and you know, it's completely stock and like almost very minimal options. Like it still has hand crank windows and manual locks. There's no power locks. So, you know, stuff like that. It's a really bare bones Tacoma that he has, but he doesn't drive anymore. And I'm not going to buy it off him or whatever, but I'm almost certain he'd be more than willing to let me drive it as long as I'm putting gas in it. I think he still insures it too. It's almost just, he says it's like just in case he ever, like, say my grandmother collapses or something and he needs to get her to a hospital real quick, he should be able to still drive that thing. Still an auto, not a manual at least. But so I think he would let me drive that. I'm almost certain he's let me drive it before, and he essentially occasionally will ask me to drive it because he doesn't, and he wants to make sure, you know, like, you know, at least someone drives it like once a month or so, or it gets driven, so it's not just gonna sit there and rot away. Man, it is nice today. It's just a little cold. I even have 2 jackets on, or well, I have a hoodie underneath this motorcycle jacket. I don't think the motorcycle jacket's not that warm. Like, it's not very insulating, which I guess will be good when it gets a warm, hot weather. I can totally still feel airflow through this thing. But yeah, in the cold weather like this, even though it's nice clear skies and everything, it's a little bit brisk. Yeah, so I think my plan is I'm just gonna very soon here, I'm just gonna see if I can sell my Subaru maybe to a dealer, because when I sold my Toyota Tundra, it was, you know, just me posting it on Craigslist. I think, was it Craigslist or yeah, it was Craigslist. So I posted on Craigslist, and it took like a couple weeks for like anyone to reach out to me. And well, right off the bat though, there was a couple of people that reached out saying like, hey, can you go put the VIN into this VIN checker and, you know, pay the $5, and then once you do that, I'll be happy to buy your vehicle if it's all good. And then as soon as you do that, which I did it once on like $5, and I was like, yeah, $5 isn't much, they just ghost you. So it's just a scam. Like, they come to you and say, yeah, just pay $5, I'll pay you back for it or something, and then it's like, nope, never mind, they're just gone. So it must be whoever owns that site. And they give you like a specific link, like, hey, use this one, it's like the cheapest one I can find, and I'm like, I guess it's only $5, it's really not that much. And I wasn't too bothered by it, because then I just put that link on my listing, because then everyone could see like, yeah, I did a VIN check, this is what came up. But then it was like, after those initial contacts, like there's another one that after I put the link in my listing, it was like, hey, can you put this through a VIN checker? And I'm just like, check my description, I already have one. So then once like real people came by, it was like a couple weeks. I don't know why, but I just feel like it seems weird that people wait. It seems like people wait to buy a car. Like, when they see a brand new listing, they just don't go for it. Like, is that a way to avoid scams or something? Like, because as soon as I got the first people contacting me about the vehicle, and then we started negotiating, and that's eventually who I sold it to. And then, like, right after I sold it, someone else contacted me, like, hey, is your truck still available? I'm like, no, it's sold. And then, like, another few days later, someone else contacted me. He's like, yeah, it's already gone, guys. Like, I already marked it as sold in the listing. I don't know what's going on. So I don't know if, like, people just wait to after they see a listing on Craigslist, but yeah, I don't know. Anyways, so there's an issue with the FJ. Apparently, according to Carfax, the last two entries into, like, the maintenance or whatever, or like the, you could see, like, where it's been logged that there was an oil change, or when it passed hands through different dealers or went up for car auctions. And I think a lot of people assume that whenever there's a car that went through an auction, that something's wrong with it. But even on Carfax website, they say a lot of vehicles, like millions of vehicles, go through car auctions every year. It's nothing to be worried about. And I knew that from the past too, because I've known that there's it's like closed, I don't say closed doors, but there's, like, when you say you sell a car to a dealer, like they buy it from you, what they will either do with it is they try and sell it themselves, or they put it up for auction to, like, a dealer's auction. So there might be another dealer that wants that car for whatever reason to sell themselves, whereas, like, the dealer that bought it doesn't want it for whatever reason. And so it just, it just passes hands. And it actually, the vehicle, I believe, started in, like, you could see the history, it started in California, somewhere in California, like, what was the city name? I want to say it was somewhere in Northern California, not Redmond, but somewhere around there. And then it got passed to a dealer, and then got auctioned off, and then it was in Utah, in around Salt Lake City area, because that's, like, the only place in Utah, or at least the only populated place, I should say. There's lots of awesome scenery, and there's like three or four national parks in Utah. They're freaking beautiful. Canyonlands, Arches, Grand Escalante, and was there another one? I think maybe there's just three. Anyways, yeah, it's beautiful. And there's Moab up down there too, I guess. Moab's the other notable place in Utah. But yeah, then it was in Utah for a while, and it was pretty much in Utah up until about a year ago, where it went through another dealer auction. It was sold back to another dealer, and then it somehow got passed to Oregon, which is where it is at now. And for whatever reason, like, you could see the failed emissions tests in Oregon twice in a row, about 10 days apart. So it sounds like they failed it once and tried to fix it, went back and still failed. But that was back in June, and it's currently January of the next year, so it's been there for a while. So it kind of makes me wonder, maybe when I go test drive it, I'll figure something out. Maybe something's actually really wrong with it. But, like, other than, like, this emissions test thing, it sounds like it's it looks like it's a completely good vehicle, which, I mean, if I'm being honest, I really don't give a crap about emissions. Like, don't get me wrong, I do want the environment to be clean and, you know, like us to have a sustainable way of life and everything, but like car emissions is so little of what's actually causing emissions in the world. That's like giant corporations with their factories and their pollution and just like the crap they just throw in the ocean, or maybe not just throw in the ocean, but they just not very responsibly get rid of it. Their trash and garbage and whatever else. And I hate to say it, but China is probably like the biggest problem in the world. It's not anything in the US or the UK or Europe. It's China and India and Indonesia. Those three there probably are, I don't know the exact statistics. I remember seeing them one time, but it was something like just those three countries are like 60 or 70% of the pollution in the world. And it's just like, imagine if you just actually cut those in half, you know, go from 60% down to 30%, except, well, that's not how percentages work, but like, imagine if they cut their emissions in half. That would be insanely better for the environment, not just one vehicle or even a million vehicles with better emissions regulations. It's just I think we should tackle the big problems first, and not, I mean, I guess there is something to be said. If it's a small problem that's easy to solve, like, why not solve it? But like, if you really want to, if there's people that really want to reverse climate change or whatever they want to do, which I don't think you should do that either. Climate change is inevitable, whether humans were here or not. Climate's going to change. It's just whether how fast it's going to change might be a problem for us. But I don't think we should reverse it. Rather, I think we should just try and slow it down so it's more manageable, I suppose. Like, the Earth naturally goes in and out of ice ages and warm periods. I actually don't know what they call those. But yeah, the Earth is slowly coming out of an ice age, and then humans come along with the Industrial Revolution, and we're just kind of speeding it up. Okay. Thank you for seeing me. I'm always kind of scared when there's a vehicle sitting at that intersection there, because it's kind of a halfway blind corner, but it almost doesn't look like it is, but then it is. So it also does not help that the sun's directly in their face when they're sitting there. But yeah, that's kind of, I guess, my take on climate change, control, stuff like that. I think there are definitely ways we could be better about our environment. Like, if everyone kind of went back to, you know, growing food in your own garden, even if it's just like you own a condo that has maybe 20 square feet of a garden, that's something. It's better than nothing, and honestly, you get better quality foods from it. Something I want to do when I get my own place, which I haven't yet, if I haven't said that. Grandparents are still being kind to me, and I'm still getting my feet off the ground and building a savings for some, I might want to jump straight into buying property rather than renting, but we'll see. It'd be really nice if I never had to rent in my entire life. cool zone. Ooh, yeah, it's still a little brisk, but man, it's such a beautiful day compared to all the damn overcast that I've been used to for the last few months. Oh, man, do I want to not live here for the rest of my life because of all of that overcast. I'm not gonna lie, I would love to live in a place where it's consistently clear skies, not necessarily less rain. Like when I lived in Flagstaff, Arizona, there was plenty of clear days there. I mean, there's obviously some days that are overcast and some days where it's raining and snowing. We even get monsoon season there, or I should say. I'm not there anymore. But that's at the end of summer. Man, there's a lot of cars on this road today. I'm gonna be here forever. Stanley Steamer. I guess the Stanley Steamer didn't know how right-of-way works. Works out for me, I guess. So, yeah, I was thinking, like, even if it is just something like the cats have gone bad in this FJ, I'd still consider buying it because it's a good deal. And I might even be able to talk them down a little bit because I'd have to, replace the cats, which are not cheap, but I don't believe they're cheap. They're something like $500 or something. Maybe 1,000, I don't remember. I've never had to deal with it, but I know it's a popular thing to steal off of cars because they can get a lot of money for them because of the materials inside them are precious metals. So they're not cheap, but yeah, the more I look into like this FJ Cruiser, I've been thinking about it all weekend actually, and it seems like the perfect vehicle for what I want. I can't see myself not buying one day. Yeah, making sure I'm in top gear there. Top gear. Okay, get myself under control here. Oh, that's a bad habit I'm building. I hate it, but I love it so much. Yeah, so I'm thinking, like, if it's only the cats that I have to replace, it's not too hard of a job to do. It's more so the price of the whatever it is. So I don't know, when I go test drive it, I'm gonna check these things out. Wait, I'm already in 6th? Oh, I guess so. Beautiful countryside today. Gorgeous green rolling hills, So I wouldn't mind living in Oregon when it's like this. Like, I love the greenery, which I understand you need a lot of rain for it. But the problem with Oregon is that it does get a decent amount of rain, but then, like, even when it's not raining, which is at least half the time through the winter, it's still like dull overcast. It's such a boring weather. I get sick of it, you know? But when the sun comes out like this, it just makes it so much better. But I don't know, I used to live in Arizona, like I said, and man, it was lovely there, up in northern Arizona. And the sun's kind of right in my eyes. Don't be going out there. I see you sneaking out there. Random car. So yeah, this is another day talking about that vehicle, I guess. Man, it's just been on my mind lately. I'll have to figure something out to talk about on the way home, but we'll see. Anyways, this is pretty much the end of the video. I have like one more light before I gotta cut it off, so anyways, see you guys later, and ciao. It's a chilly one, like usual, I suppose. Whew. Yeah, when I got on my bike, I sat down and man, was that a cold seat. Oh yeah. So last night my battery died right in the middle of me talking. But this time I have it plugged in. I actually almost forgot that I have oh wow. When I first started taking some longer trips on this bike, when it was still like nice weather. I might do it this weekend actually, because if it is nice weather again. But I've been trying to get used to some longer rides, because I'd love to do like maybe a road trip on this thing. Something like going to through Yellowstone like that. That would be kind of sweet. I don't know why, I just always thought on a motorcycle that'd be kind of cool. Anyways, we're on the freeway again and got some wind in my ears. Right, so yeah, maybe we should talk shortly about taking road trips or something on a motorcycle. It's something I was starting to look into for a while, and actually one of the things I got for Christmas, because I specifically asked for it, was a nice motorcycle backpack. It's actually pretty big and waterproof. You could almost use it as like a backpacking backpack, but it's not quite that comfortable or fit for it. But yeah, that would be pretty sweet to do a long road trip. And if you could find camp spots that are on the road sort of, or paved to it, because I really wouldn't want to take this thing on a dirt road. I mean, I could, but it's a cruiser, it's not a dirt bike. Man, I might slow it down a bit. I'm like getting cold. I don't know, what is it, weather? That's something else I gotta test. Is it better to go faster and maybe get a little bit colder faster, but you get home sooner, or go a little bit slower, but you might not get cold as fast, but you take longer to get home? I don't know. It's a good question. I figure maybe slower because you're still regenerating body heat the whole time, and so technically when you go slower you take longer, so your body has more time to regenerate the body heat, and you might reach a higher equilibrium in temperature. Ugh. This is my engineering mind going to work. I smell pot. Fuck that. Or maybe that's actually a skunk, I don't know. It's been a little while since I've actually smelled pot. I'm just on the street or something, just because, you know, I smelled it all the time, or decently often when I was, you know, on college. I never really got into it. I have tried it legally too. And I didn't get it. I didn't like it. But it's, you know, it's not for everyone. Some people are totally fine with it. And I'm not against them. It's just, don't like smoke box the entire dorm room. Oh my god. Figure out how to get that smell somewhere else. Anyways, going on so many tangents. So like what I was mentioning, I'd love to go on like road trips with this thing, and actually when I bought this thing, it came with a windshield, which I took off, that I could put back on, and it would be probably nice for the wind in longer distances, but honestly I kind of don't mind the wind. It's more so the noise from the wind. Like I might want to have maybe a quieter helmet. Since this is my first helmet, I'm not too sure if this is considered more a louder or quieter side. I got it from Revzilla, and I don't recall there being any. I know they have that noise level rating. And I don't recall it being high. I think it was like medium-ish low, if I remember correctly, but I don't quite recall. But yeah, mainly just the wind noise is what starts to kill me, or not kill me, but just I have to pump up my music pretty loud to keep me sane. I don't know why, there's some part of me that really just wants to take off full throttle. This is a quick way to get home. That'll do it. Woo! That car was going really fast, which is kind of what prompted me to do that. Coming up next to me, and remind him he's not the fastest car on the road. Vehicle, I should say. Bad habits. Why must I be addicted to that? Maybe that's why I've always wanted a motorcycle, man. I don't know. That's why, okay, that's one reason I got not a sport bike. It's because I knew that I'd like the throttle too much. And if I got a sport bike, I could get insanely fast, you know, up to 120 or 130 or whatever. And that's just, well, I may have just been going fast there, you know. Triple digits. That last sentence was unrelated to what I've been talking about, but it's not, at least I'm so glad this thing is super stable, because it did that. I went over a lane line and, you know, I felt the shimmy of going over that thing and going that fast, and yeah, it was no problem. Should only ever do that when I know there is nobody on the road that could possibly cut me off. Oh God, I keep telling myself I shouldn't be doing that, but man. Anyways, I gotta end the video. I'm sure I have to edit out the video part of this, because, you know, at the end here and also some potential you know, not going that fast with my dash, you know. There's some stuff I have to edit in. I'll see if I can do it. We'll see. Anyways, that's been this video. Hope you guys like it and enjoy. Ciao.